कहाँ जी तू? फिर क्या हुआ? अच्छा,
Well, the time is just gone, 8:43, and this video clip that we've just played out before we came on live, and this is a video that was shot without a Muslim woman's consent, and this video went viral on social media, and this has happened in at the Quantum University in Uttarakhand's Roorkee district. And this is a video that emerged showing a woman offering salah on campus premises. And when this video was shot without this woman's consent, it went viral on social media platforms. And this resulted in a student protest where students came out in large numbers against this woman performing salah in campus, and they started chanting Jai Shri Ram in response. Now, this has gone viral on many social media platforms, and when one looks at this video clip that has been played out, we've seen mostly men, mostly school boys at college chanting these slogans, and this obviously is another example, a blatant example of Islamophobia on the campuses in India. And this viral video clearly has created a lot of discussion, and once again exposing India for what it is, a uh, a country where bigots, a country where you've got this right wing Hindutva ideology that is playing out in campus, where a woman in the corner, just uh, above a staircase, just quietly, just reading her salah, and this is what has resulted in this problem, and this is the reason why we are going across this morning to discuss this particular incident with Kashmir Observer head journalist Nazir Ganaie. Nazir, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yes, Jazakallah to you as well for taking time out. Now, clearly, when I looked at the video, when I seen the protest that was taking place, when we see all these men, all these young men coming out and protesting and shouting slogans like Jai Shri Ram, just in response to a woman just performing her salah quietly, talking to her creator, talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just how far is this ideology of hatred against Muslims, this Islamophobia, how far are they prepared to go with this, where they even now protesting against a woman reading just salah?
See, India is a home to some 200 million Muslims, and it's one of the world's largest Muslim population, but a minority in the predominantly Hindu country. And these incidents are not new to the people living in India, and especially the Muslims. These incidents have been happening over the years, and before this, before Roorkee, we have seen Kerala happening, where these girls with hijab were going to school, and they were stopped, and they were not allowed to appear in the exams, and a large mass civil protest erupted, and discussion occurred. Then the case went to the court, and for a simple hijab of a school-going girl, the case was taken to the High Court, and then it went to the Supreme Court. And this is how the treatment to Muslim-going kids or the school-going kids is taken to the next level. Since in India's independence, Muslims have often faced discrimination, prejudice, and and violence, despite constitutional protections. There are different constitutional protections for minorities, but they're saying that sentiments have heightened, anti-Muslim sentiments have heightened under the new government regime, and the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, which has pursued a Hindu nationalist agenda since elected to power in 2014. And Modi's re-election in 2019, the government has pushed some controversial policies that critically ignore Muslim rights and restrict religious freedom. And if you look at India, it's a country with diversity. It's a country where you have Muslims, Hindus, Christians living in harmony. But over the years, this thing has changed, and a lot of incidents have been happening across the states, and there's no one to have a control on this. There's no one to have a check on this, and Muslims have become more anti-Muslim incidents have become more common. This move has actually sparked protests now in the Roorkee, and this is not the last incident that is going to happen. There are going to be many things happening after this as well. We recently saw another incident happening when Muslims were offering prayers, Friday prayers, on the roadside, and a contingent of police came, and then they kicked them off, thrashed them brutally, and wrapped them in the police wanton, and they were arrested. So this is not the last event, but this is again not going to be a good thing for the India as a nation, because it breaks the diversity, it breaks that fabric of that unity. So I think incidents like these, incidents like Roorkee, are highly condemnable, and this should not have happened. And when your own college fellows come out with slogans like Jai Shri Ram, it is definitely intimidating.
Well, it certainly is very, very intimidating. But also, I think what is the biggest concern is we know, to a large extent, politicians, the BJP government, many politicians have made these inflammatory statements over and over again, and how this has filtered down now to the greater population. And now, when we see something like this happening at a university campus, even further now, where young people are being indoctrinated with this hateful ideology that it is promoting. And so now it's going to young people, and before you know what's happening, it will go into high schools, can even go into primary schools. And this is exactly what this agenda is actually doing, is to create this ideology, this hateful ideology of Hindutva at even grassroots level. And this is where the danger actually lurks. This is where the danger actually lies, Nazir.
This is being institutionalized. When a chief minister of any state speaks against Muslims, when he calls names to them, so it becomes institutionalized, and the discrimination becomes institutionalized. When a union minister comes out in public and talks bad about your own community, it really becomes institutionalized, and people who are listening to him, people who are following him, think that this is a normal course. This is a normal procedure if we have to hurt our fellow community. Muslims have not just experienced discrimination in areas including employment, education, or housing, but then their religious rights also have been, curtailed. Many encounter barriers to achieving political power and, wealth, and lack of access to healthcare or basic services. Go to some Muslim areas in India, and you will find why they lack so much of basic amenities. because they are not being provided. They live in ghettos. They suffer on daily basis, and moreover, they are often they often struggle to secure justice after suffering this discrimination, despite that constitutional protection which is there maybe on the paper. And over the last 2 decades, representation of Muslims in parliament has stagnated. Now look at today's cabinet of Prime Minister Modi. There is no Muslim minister, and after 2019 elections, Muslims held just 5% of seats. Is this BJP is new rise of BJP? I think by 2022 had no Muslim member to the parliament. There was one Muslim member, Shahnawaz Hussain. He was also dropped. So this is a clear indication that you don't want Muslim representation. You don't want Muslims to have their rightful location, and then you don't have the policies to uplift, to upgrade their well-being. So that's very clear. And incidents like these, incidents like Islamophobia, is not going to be contained. They are going to grow further because a lot of things are coming from the politicians, and they are being institutionalized. They are being patted. So some people are being, rewarded for speaking, anti-Muslim sentiments. And while on the other side, some Muslim, leaders come out and they also start speaking against Hindus, and this is creating a discord, and this is not a good sign for the healthy India.
Well, we're going to have to leave it at that, Nazir, and we say Jazakallah to you for taking time out and providing us with that update. I'm sure there's a lot more you would have been able to unpack, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. But we thank you. We say Jazakallah to you for taking time out and talking to us this morning right here on Salam Media. We wish you all the best, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Nazir Ganaie, Kashmir Observer head journalist, was us this morning against this horrific incident once again in India. A woman quietly performing salah just above a staircase, and here you have hundreds and hundreds of these hateful students, and mostly boys, coming out and chanting slogans against this woman just reading salah. And this is what India is all about. This is what India has actually become, a hateful supremacist ideology. And we said it for a very, very long time, looking at this Hindutva ideology, no different to Zionism. And this is the reason why it gets to a stage where it becomes so ugly, it becomes brutal. And this is a daily occurrence. And we continue speaking out against the behavior and against this hateful ideology, and we will continue talking out against it, because at the end of the day, this is oppression, this is injustice, and we are obliged to speak out against all forms of injustices that are being perpetrated, particularly now and recently. We've seen it for many years in India, Islamophobia on the rise. The time is just gone 8:56. We're going to go for a quick break. We come back. It's time for our Jumma Nasiha. And this morning we have got Muallima Badrun Nisa Ali, who is on standby.